What if cervical cancer screening didn't require a pelvic exam and was just as accurate? I'm Paige, your pharmacist. Let's talk about it. For the first time, self-collected HPV testing is officially recognized as a valid option for cervical cancer screening. Self-collected vaginal samples for HPV testing are now considered an acceptable alternative to clinician-collected cervical samples for average-risk individuals aged 25 to 65. This update is backed by years of high-quality evidence and is now endorsed by the American Cancer Society. Let's talk accuracy because that's the big question. When PCR-based HPV tests are used, self-collected samples perform nearly identically to clinician-collected ones. Large meta-analyses and randomized trials show similar sensitivity and specificity for detecting high-risk HPV and even precancerous cervical lesions. One major trial demonstrated that self-collection was non-inferior to clinician collection for detecting serious precancer changes. This isn't experimental anymore. In May 2024, the FDA approved self-collection for clinical use. Initially, this meant collecting the sample yourself, but still inside a clinic, using a specific validated test. Soon after, at-home self-collection kits were approved, making screening accessible without an office visit. There are some important differences in follow-up. After a negative self-collected HPV test, screening is recommended again in 3 years compared to 5 years with clinician-collected samples. And if the test is positive, patients must come in for additional testing because reflex cytology can't be done from the original self-collected sample. That means about 10 to 15% of people screened will need a follow-up visit. So why does this matter so much? Because self-collection dramatically increases screening rates, especially in people who don't regularly get pap smears. The bottom line is self-collected HPV testing is safe, accurate, FDA-approved, and evidence-based. It won't replace clinician exams, but it will help close major gaps in cervical screening cancers and catch disease earlier in people who might otherwise go unscreened.